For a while, I've been looking for a way to get out of the agency and even SaaS space. It is a great model. I love the model, and we still generate income from it every single month. But I found a much better way to use tools like HighLevel and Upex to generate income without having to have clients. And I'm going to show you all of it in the video today. Basically, I'm going to show you something that we're already doing, we're already generating income from, and my plan to build this to $10,000 or more per month and then beyond that. But I just want to start small and show you exactly what we're going to do, and I'm going to get to it right now. Now, before you freak out, I don't have a $1,000 course or a mastermind or anything to sell you on this video. All I ask is that you comment down below and I'll personally respond to you with a link to a software tool that is exactly what we use to do all of this. So I'm going to show you an entire course walking you through step by step how all this gets done. So with that, just hit the like button, leave a comment down below, and I'll personally respond to you with that link. Now let me show you what this business model is. Okay, so the first question that a lot of people have is, what am I selling? And the answer is digital real estate. Now let me explain what digital real estate is. So what I'm doing is I'm using HighLevel. What I love about HighLevel, among many other things, is that it allows me to have unlimited what they call sub-accounts, meaning every little business idea that I have, I can start a new account. It can have its own emails, its own phone numbers, its own tracking. Everything is contained in that one sub-account for that crazy business idea that I have. And in this case, what we're doing is we're building out a website that is for a local service. Think concrete, roofing, plumbing, fencing, tree service, anything that's like a service person that's going to come out and fix something for you. So what we're doing is we're finding cities that have a population of, say, more than 50,000, but less than like 300,000. Because when you start getting to the big cities, then it's a little bit harder to rank. And what we're doing is we're building out a website that is for, say, there's a city outside of Dallas called Louisville. So let's say Louisville concrete is what we would build. And we buy that domain, try to get the .com, and we're going to build that site. Now, the great thing is with HighLevel, we can have templates, we can duplicate things pretty quickly. And so the building of the actual site doesn't take very long, at least to get the basic infrastructure done. Now, obviously, right when we launch a site, we're not going to have any business going on, right? We just have a site that's out there on the internet. So what we're going to do is we're going to use our friends over at Upex, and we're going to generate some leads using Upex, because Upex allows you to do basically Facebook and Google ads in about 3 clicks, and it will launch an ad out into the world. This does take a little bit of money to get going because obviously you have to run some ads, but I'm going to explain the entire process and show you how quickly I've been getting that money back. So we run some ads on Upex. At the same time, we're doing some things behind the scenes to rank the site, and that's a much longer video that I'll show in the future. But basically, if it's a fairly uncompetitive area, it doesn't take too much to rank a site, but you just have to have specific landing pages for different city areas and coverages and services that you offer, and some basically general SEO, which we'll talk about in future videos. But just know that at the same time that we're running ads, we're also doing some work behind the scenes to rank the site. Now, all this so far hasn't cost us that much money. It costs us maybe 10 bucks for the domain, and then we're probably running 10 to 20 bucks a day for Facebook and Google ads. Generally just Facebook ads to start with. So what we're doing is we're running those ads, and we're also trying to do the SEO, and we're running traffic to a landing page to hopefully get people to fill out a quote form. Now, we don't do concrete. I've done concrete one time in my life when I was a kid helping some people, but I don't want to be a concrete person in any way, but I do love having this asset. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get these leads, then I'm going to jump on the phone, and I'm going to find Joe the concrete guy. Now, all the people that we've looked at that are running paid ads already, they're obviously trying to grow their business. So we need to reach out to them and say, hey, Joe, I have a concrete site that's getting some leads. I don't do concrete, but I'd love to forward the leads over to you for free just to see that they're legit. And if you like what you see and you're getting some business from it, then we can have a conversation in about a week and talk about you getting all the leads moving forward for a flat monthly fee. So Joe may say, well, how much is it, or what is it? Say, let's just worry about taking care of these clients first, and then we'll talk in a week and we'll see if it's going to work out. If not, no worries. Joe's likely going to say yes. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take these leads that you've already gotten, you're going to call them up and live transfer them over to Joe. So you call up, Susie Smith, and you say, hey, Susie, I know you're looking for a quote. I got my concrete guy, Joe, on the phone. He's going to take care of you and provide all the quote details for you. Then you transfer the call over to him and they connect the dots, and hopefully Joe gets some business out of it. And we do this for 2 or 3 times. We try to send 2 or 3 leads, no more than 5 or 6, but you can probably get by with just 2 or 3 leads. Once you get that third lead over to Joe, you're going to call him a day or two later and you say, hey, Joe, just wanted to see how those leads went and also when we can book a time to jump on the call and talk about the next steps of maybe working together. Hopefully Joe's closed a deal or at least sees that these are high quality prospects. They're not just general Angie's List or Thumbtack where they're calling 50 different people and he's just one of many. You're the only person that is giving those leads to Joe and they're not going anywhere else. So hopefully Joe's like, yeah, let's jump on a call. And what we do is we then present to Joe, okay, what would it look like if you just took every single lead from my site, no matter what? I'm just going to forward the calls over to you. It's going to ring on your phone. You're going to hear a little a little message that says new lead from LouisvilleConcrete.com, and you're going to know it's from my site. And every single month, all the leads 100% go to you. Joe says, how much is that going to be? And you can figure out based on how much it's costing you per lead to run these ads. Say you're getting leads for $10 a lead and you think Joe would be happy with 15 leads a month. So you're estimating it's probably going to cost you about $150, $200 a month to run this before you start ranking on Google. Okay. So you got to have some way to supply the leads before you start ranking. So you say in your mind, it's going to cost me personally to send Joe 15 leads a month. It's going to cost me about, say, $200 on the high end. So I'm going to try to get Joe to pay me $150 a week to get all of these leads. Because we have to think that Joe, once he gets one of these, he can make several $1,000s depending on the size of the job, sometimes up to $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 if it's a really big job. So you're going to say, all right, instead of paying me monthly, let's just go week to week, see how it goes. It'll be $150 a week. You'll probably get a couple leads a week from me, and then we can look at scaling it up from there. I'm building a lot of assets to build this thing up, so at some point, I'm sure you're going to get even more volume. So Joe says, yes, great. We move to collecting payment. The reason I'm doing a weekly payment, like for example, here I have my first company, I'm doing $75 a week because I wasn't really sure what to expect. The reason I did $75 a week versus $300 a month is that there are some times where a month has more than 4 weeks, right? So in that case, and over the time of a year, that $75 a week is going to turn into $3,900 versus $3,600. So it's a way for me to make a little bit more money per year with the asset. But number two, it allows me to just test the waters and see, is this guy going to keep paying or is he going to be a problem? Whatever the case may be. All the while, I'm continuing to build and invest into this asset with SEO and refining how I'm running ads and all of that stuff. Joe doesn't need to know where these leads are coming from. He just wants to know that he's getting leads that are quality, ringing his phone. That's all he needs to know. He doesn't get a log into my software. He doesn't get anything other than his phone rings and the leads go to him, or an email dings and he gets a lead that way. That's all he needs to know. But I'm building this asset for myself. So if Joe ever gives me any trouble, doesn't want to pay, wants to go on vacation, wants to try something else, whatever, I still have this asset, right? So all I do is I go pick up the phone, I find another Joe. Now, hopefully my cost per lead is either 0 because I'm ranking organically on Google, or I've figured out some really good ads that I can run to make my costs go down, down, down. And that way the next person that I get is going to provide me even more profit. So we do this cycle over and over and over again till we stack this up. Now, the first one that we ever did, again, we charged really low because personally, I wasn't confident that I could deliver leads. I was still trying to figure out the Facebook ads in my case, I'm doing concrete. So I was trying to figure out how Facebook ads would work for that industry and all that stuff. So we started with $75 a week, and that guy has been paying for probably 7, 8 months now, maybe longer. Actually, here's some of his payments here. You can see consistently started in December of 2024. We're in May now. He's never missed a payment, never complained. He gets leads every month. We make a small profit margin. We're probably at like 30 or 40% profit margin on this, but it's cash flow, and it gave me proof of concept to really say, okay, I can scale this up. And again, if he ever decides that this isn't for him, whatever the case may be, I can get another person and raise the price. I'll definitely be going to at least 150 a week, maybe 300 a week at that time, because I'm very confident in delivering results as soon as I turn on paid ads, and my SEO continues to go up and up and up. So that is that. Now, how does the automation process work? Sometimes we get people that are chatting with us and all that, and I don't want this to be like a full-time job for me, especially if I'm trying to build multiple of these. So what we've been doing is also combining this with either the chat that HighLevel has built in, the AI chat, or we've been really successful using CloseBot, which allows me to do a lot of really easy multiple bot scenarios at the same time. It's a bit more advanced and robust than what HighLevel has built in. And let me just show you one example down here. I think I pasted it. Let me see. Yep. This is just one of many that we have sent. And the business owner we're working with, his name is Arturo. And so this lead just comes in automatically. Says, the ad says, "Are you looking for concrete?" They tap yes. It says, "Yes, concrete runners for a double wide. Great choice. Could you tell me a bit about the project location?" Told me the rough address, not the exact address. "Thanks for sharing the location. Our owner, Arturo, will give you a call soon to discuss the project details and provide a quote. What's a good number for you?" He gave the phone number. "Thank you, Arturo will reach out soon." He gave a thumbs up, and then that lead automatically forwarded over to Arturo, and Arturo picks up the phone and calls them. So Arturo is solid. He always picks up the phone. He always delivers, and he does a great job. So we are confident in keeping the price as it is. We don't want to rock the boat with that, especially since we're profitable. But again, if he ever leaves, ever decides he doesn't want to do this anymore, ever complains, whatever, we are building this asset. So I just want to duplicate this over and over and over again. What I've found, as much as I love AI and as much as I love SaaS, and we still have people that are paying us for that, it is sometimes quite a challenge long term when you're scaling up and adding multiple people to get people to do what they should do with your tool, right? We have this amazing gift right now of AI that is transforming the lives of everyone, and it's happening very quickly. And I have been spending a lot of time on the phone with business owners trying to convince them of it or the value of it or all of that. And I've just decided I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to convince these people. Now, there are some great people. Like I said, we have people paying us, and the easy ones that are straightforward, they understand the value and they're excited to use it. By all means, I'm happy to provide it for them. But in the meantime, I also want to build up a bunch of different assets. And I'm going to be spending a lot more time on the channel talking about how to use AI and automations and tools to build your own assets that you own so that you can scale to the moon as big as you want. And you don't have to convince yourself of the value because you're building it yourself. Also, I've had some instances where when I was offering AI to somebody and the AI maybe said a word twice on accident because every now and then there's a little glitch or whatever. It's just a very, very minor thing. But the business owner freaked out like, oh, we're embarrassed or it made us look bad or whatever. I don't want to deal with all that either. So I am on this channel. I'm shifting a lot of the content to how do we build assets using AI, using technology, using automation to scale our businesses and have something that we can own and not have to answer to anybody. So again, how to get to $10,000 per month with 0 clients. I plan to scale this to over $100,000 per month. But I just wanted to start small and show you these automations. We have several other sites that are in process, some that are already getting leads and we're finding business owners to do. Just full transparency, the hardest part of this, there are a couple. One is the ranking on Google. So that is something that you will need a little bit of tech knowledge to figure out. But with AI tools these days, and there's some that are built into HighLevel now, ranking is not as hard as it used to be. And there are, we're going after niches that are not very competitive. So we're looking for like a smaller city outside of a major city that doesn't have a lot of competition for keywords. So Louisville concrete, I'm just throwing that out there. I don't know. I haven't checked the competition on it, but that is likely a lot less competitive than Dallas concrete or Los Angeles concrete, right? So, and even if we go a smaller city, we might find some pockets for that. And concrete is not the only one. There are hundreds of these types of interesting niches that if you can generate some leads and provide them to a contractor, in this case, and they can make $5, $10, $20,000 on a lead, they're willing to pay you pretty handsomely for that. And again, the best part is that we're owning this asset. If they ever leave, we have not wasted the time building the thing. We can just then rent it out to somebody else. So with digital real estate, I'm going to be talking a lot about how I'm using AI for actual real estate in future videos as well. but I'm really excited about these models, and hopefully you are too. Again, if you are interested in this, comment down below. I'll send you a link to how to use HighLevel. And then I'm also going to have a community of people that are kind of going through this journey as well, and a lot of other things that we're building inside of there, so I can tell you more about that as well. Other than that, I'll see you on the next video. Thank you so much.